Hi, good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another Sunday bumper quiz. We have 5 rounds of 10 questions coming up for you. We'll just get that started in a wee moment. What have we got for you today? Well, we have, what do we have to, I don't even know. I've done it again, I can't mind. First round is TV and movies. Then we're going to follow up with a picture round. Then after that, we've got 2 connections rounds for you. One's sport related. And then we'll end off with a music round. Okay, so yeah, let's get started with it. So I hope you're all well out there, keeping safe, folks. Cheers to you. Happy Sunday. Just another couple of these to go, and then that'll be us. With that, I know. It's a shame. It's a shame. Right. What am I doing here? Aye, you're looking for that, G. Oh no, I just forgot. Right, so let's get that on the screen for you now. So good to see that you are all doing well. Remember, we have the card game coming up for you later on as well. A wee bit of fun there. Good opportunity for any teams to catch up and get some extra points. 4 points or 6 points up for grabs. It wasn't one last week. So we'll see how that goes. So let's start off with your first round, which, as I say, this week is TV and movies. 10 questions relating to TV and movies. So if you're ready, let's get started. Right. Question number 1. Judith Keppel was the first £1 million winner of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? But which Channel 4 show was the first to award someone a million in December 1999? Judith Keppel was the first £1 million winner of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but which Channel 4 show was the first to award someone a million in December 1999? That was the first show to award someone a prize of £1 million, just to clarify that. Oh. Okay. So that's your first one. Remember, you can pause these as we go along. I say that all the time, but there you are. Right, question number 2. Which 1974 horror movie had the tagline, "Who will survive and what will be left of them"? Which 1974 horror movie had the tagline, "Who will survive and what will be left of them"? Oh, how's your week been, folks? All right? Weekend been good? Pub's not opening back up yet, eh? A wee bit of disappointment there in Nicola's speech on Thursday. There was hope there, wasn't there? There was a wee glimmer of hope, and then gone. But hey ho. Couples that haven't seen each other for a while can get back together. As the wee Jeannie Godley voiceover of Nicola said, pumping can recommence. Right, question number 3. Ashes to Ashes was the sequel to which fantasy BBC drama series? Ashes to Ashes was the sequel to which fantasy crime drama series? Can't really say that. It was in the BBC. I'm quite warm tonight. What's up, man? Too much alcohol sweating out of me, probably. Okay, so Ashes to Ashes was the sequel to which fantasy crime drama series? Question number 4. Steve McQueen plays the character Eric the Kid Stoner in which 1965 movie? Steve McQueen plays the character Eric the Kid Stoner in which 1965 movie? Aye, so so the pub's not opening back up yet. I think a lot of the pubs were really disappointed because they'd been putting a lot of prep into hopefully opening. So probably going to be looking at early July, maybe. And that's just beer gardens. Pubs that have got a beer garden or an outdoor space can do it. If you know, then You're going to have to probably wait till much later. Much later. Oh. Right. Question number 5. Which former newsreader once presented the BBC daytime quiz Master Team, which was broadcast in the 80s? Which former newsreader once presented the BBC daytime quiz Master Team, which was broadcast in the 80s? I had a wee sort of, I think I said it during the week. I had a wee sort of notion that I thought maybe if it goes to plan, then the pub quiz really could be back, maybe at the end of July or something. I don't know. But I'm feeling a bit jaded. I think it's fair to say. I'm feeling a wee bit quizzed out, if I'm being honest. And aye, I think when it comes to after the 5th of July, a good wee break's needed because I've got a lot of work on coming up as well, to be honest. I do, honestly, I do. Question number 6. In the movie Avatar, the indigenous Na'vi tribe that live on Pandora have what colour of skin? In the movie Avatar, the indigenous Na'vi, I think that's how you say it, tribe that live on Pandora have what colour of skin? I just think, I knew it would probably, obviously, it was going to be a few months that the pubs would be shut. But I think doing the amount of questions that it takes up a lot of time. Filming it, doing the questions, and I thought maybe I could just do it once a week then and cut maybe the Wednesday night out and just do the Sunday quiz as usual. But even then, it's still a lot that I'm even struggling to find time to do it at nights after I've finished my work. And I think even more, as we move on to question 7, which UK soap opera is filmed in the Harewood estate? Which UK soap opera is filmed in the Harewood estate? I think because you're doing it on this PowerPoint thing, so you're doing the quiz and you're having to make sure that all looks alright. But when I used to do the pub quiz itself, I would just batter it out on a Word document and that would be it. I don't need to worry about it. But it's much more. It's more than I thought, to be honest. When I first did it, I was like, geez. And then after a while, you just think, but who knows? Maybe after the 5th, I might do the odd wee special quiz now and then. We'll see. Right, question number 8. Which monster first appeared in Japanese cinema in 1954? Which monster first appeared in Japanese cinema in 1954? It's been pretty tough on that front, and it's just more been the past couple of weeks. I think you just get a wee bit tired. Yeah, tired. But look, I'm on a nice bright faced here. I'm happy, but I do all like that. It's just I'm finding now, like I'm at the last minute doing last minute questions, and because I'm adding music to it, I need to double check that the music is all right. Like tonight, I had to make a last minute change because of copyright issues. A tune was blocked, so I had to change that, and it's just right. Question 9. Which character was played by Buster Merryfield in Only Fools and Horses? Which character was played by Buster Merryfield in Only Fools and Horses? Yeah. Hopefully no be long, maybe just a couple of weeks break, and then you never know, we might be all sitting in the pub doing the quiz for those that go to the pub, because I know there's a lot of people that do the quiz that actually have never even set foot in the granary and Stuart. But hey. So which character was played by Buster Merryfield in Only Fools and Horses? And your final question of the TV and movies round. In which city is the TV series Peaky Blinders predominantly set? In which city is the TV series Peaky Blinders predominantly set? And you know what I mean, I appreciate everybody has been very great with their feedback in terms of how much they look forward to it on a Wednesday and Sunday. And I must admit, I was loving doing it for weeks and weeks and weeks, but I just feel with the amount of workload that I've going as well now, it's just becoming a bit more, you know. And then I don't want that to start reflecting in the actual quiz itself, and people go, "Fucking Gary's not bothered here." I mean, look at this shit he's putting in his questions. Who's the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Or getting like Smithy for Gavin and Stacey. Just every answer's Gary Lineker or Leicester. So I don't want that to happen. Okay. Right, okay, that's the end of your first round, folks. As per usual, you can send your answers to me. Don't send your questions to me. I've no time for that. And I'll look at them, and we will get a results board up later on tonight. Okay, music-wise, let's see what we've got on the old Quills Bank for that. Let's play this wee track. I've not heard it for a while, man, and it's a nice wee song. Just skip it a bit because it does take a bloody eternity to start. Wolf Alice, Silk.
Your broad shoulders, more tears. You're alive and I'm still here. Some half-human creature thing. Can you bring life to anything? Take this to make you better. Eventually you'll die. If you don't love me, don't tell me. I've never asked you and I never asked why. Such a shame. Well, whose fault is that? If it wasn't mom and dad, well, it must be yours. We'll have none of that. Just looking for a protector. God never reached out in time. There's love that is a savior, but that ain't no love of mine. My love, it kills me slowly. Slowly I could die. And when she sleeps, she hears the blues. Sees shades of black and white. Gotta stay cool, you hot head. Count to 1,000 before you sleep in bed. Read the news, pass the time. Drink the juice, feeling fine. Gotta stay cool, you hot head. Count to 1,000 before you sleep in bed. Read the news, pass the time. Drink the juice, feeling fine. At least you're not boring. No one wants to feel this sad. Just looking for a protector. God never reached out and died. There's love there's a savior, but that ain't no love of mine. My love, it kills me slowly. Slowly I could die. And when she sleeps, she hears the blues. Sees shades of black and white. Just looking for a protector. God never reached out and died. There's love that is a savior, but that ain't no love of mine. My love, it kills me slowly. Slowly I could die. And when she sleeps, she hears the blues. Sees shades of black and white.
Yeah, Wolf Alice there with Silk, which some of you may have been familiar with. It was actually featured in the Trainspotting 2, the Trainspotting 2 film. Well, else is, see when you're looking at something else there, Gary, you're distracted, son. Distracted. Right, okay, so we are now moving on to round number 2, which is this week a picture round, and it's radio DJs. So your faces of radio DJs. Predominantly, let me just check this. I think they've all been BBC radio DJs, or currently are. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Here's your first one. There's an old classic. Sometimes it'll be people be going, alright, aye. Know their voice, but I could easily walk by them in the street when you know who they were. It's true. I suppose that's quite kind of true. Have you noticed that when you're out for your walks now? How much friendlier folks seem to be? Or they're just desperate to talk to somebody that's different. Nah, that's a new face. I'm going to say hello to that guy. I mean, I thought it was this that was making me famous, but it's true. Guy knows me. He must watch my YouTube video. Then I'm like, Gillian's like, people just seem to be doing that, man. Or that's such and such, she's husband or whatever, and you go, alright, I didn't know him. But people, a lot more people, hi, how you doing? Evening, morning, lovely day for it. Oh, always say to get like that, lovely day for it. There's me. Right, there's number 2. That's suave, sophisticated. It just seems, how long that'll keep up for after lockdown and all that's finished, we shall see. We shall see. Right, number 3. Who is she? Might know her for something else as well, actually, in terms of, well, you might, I don't know. Okay, as I say, you can pause these or rewind them back. There's number 4, now there. A picture that embodies the 80s. That actually looks like the background of my wee office upstairs. Remember when I did the live quizathon? The Red Blind. Looked like a wee place in Amsterdam. I mean, what is that all about? I'm not just talking about the hair, which was kind of the norm then, but what the fuck is that jacket? Probably go down and it's a big jumper or something. But hey ho. Number 5. Number 5 is like the charts. Radio DJ at 5. And at 5 it's you just used to record the charts. No, alright. I did for a brief spell in the 80s, early 90s. You listen and I don't like that song. I play that song, but you always had to try and anticipate when the DJ was coming in. Sometimes he was off early. He or she was off early, and you're like, shit, fuck. Let you rewind that back. It's a folk, didn't know. Gary, you've taped that off the charts. I mean, if you hear a wee snippet of Mark Goodyear, who's no in this, that's why I've said him, then it's fine, we all know. Number 6. Who is he? Aye. Or even worse if it was the network charts. Remember the network charts if you were listening to that in Radio Clyde? Never did really, but they were that fucking advert now coming in. Oh, Right, so that's number 6. Here is number 7. He's got Guns N' Roses t-shirt there, madam. And I've got a Blur t-shirt on, completely different, but I don't know, I like the t-shirt. As I say, I really do like the t-shirt. But I don't know. Kind of reminds you, I mean, it says Blur there, as you can see. But remember the John Lennon one that said New York City? Remember his famous t-shirt? Kind of reminds me of that. And funnily enough, I did have that t-shirt as well. And the same person that got me that t-shirt got me this t-shirt. Mr. McMenemy. I need to get myself a Prodigy t-shirt again. The classic yellow Prodigy t-shirt came back out for men because it was originally for women. Right, who's number 8? I remember back in the late 90s, I was at a gig. I was at a Prodigy gig in Glasgow Green, and I seen this guy with the Prodigy t-shirt, which Keith Flint used to wear. And I was like, I want that. And I remember now, like Virgin Megastore and all that, and HMV used to sell band t-shirts. And one of the lassies for work was going into the tune, and I said, "You're going to go in and get me a Prodigy t-shirt." Aye, no worries. Came back. I was so excited, and I went in and I went, Jesus, couldn't get it out. Considering back then, honestly, I was fucking stick thin, and I was like, oh my God, it was a lassie's t-shirt. I was like, you need to take that back, get me a men's one. She said it was only lassies that had. There's number 9. Cheery lassie. Aye, I was like, fucking end, but I seen on their merchandise website that they've actually released the men's version here. Eventually, after about fucking 20 odd years. Man. Shame that. Keith. So a year now? Do you think that? It doesn't seem as long as that. Oh my God. Right, so that's number 9. And there is number 10. There's an old classic one there for you. Obviously, with some of the DJs, I had to be a bit wary. Is he alright? Is he in the jail or no? So I had to be careful. Don't know if you can hear the dog's bloody barking. Because no, my dog. Fucking no dogs out there. Shut up. Right, so that's number 10. Alright, y'all, let's have a wee music break again. You can send your answers to me, all that sort of palaver. But what do we have? I like this wee tune. This is the Go Team, and this is Lady Flash. Cracking me track that, Lady Flash by the Go Team. Right, what's your next one? It's sport, and it's a connection sports round. So you're going to get general sports questions, okay? But they all have a connection, and that connection is sport related as well, okay? So see how you get on. Alrighty, right. So here is question number 1. Which former British athlete originally refused to compete on a Sunday due to his religious beliefs? He went on to be an Olympic champion and two-time world champion. So he went on to be an Olympic champion and a two-time world champion. Just take that bit out there. Right, so which former British athlete originally refused to compete on a Sunday due to his religious beliefs? He went on to be Olympic champion and two-time world champion at his discipline. Seems to be a wee freeze here on my camera, folks. Let's see what's happening here. Hello? I hope this isn't going to be a... I don't... He's still recording, folks, but my picture, I've frozen. And we seem to be a wee bit behind. I'll just carry on just now because I know that there might be a wee issue that will resolve itself, hopefully. Right, question number 2. What is the name of the ground which is home to football club Newcastle United? What is the name of the ground which is home to football club Newcastle United? Let's see if I can fix this while this is going on. See, I don't know if it's just my screen that's froze, folks. So I'm going to do everything here. Hi, good afternoon, folks. Oh, shut up, Gary. Sorry, I'm just doing a wee... Hi, good afternoon, folks, and welcome to... Right. Okay, we'll carry on. As I say, it's just because my picture is frozen on the screen, but hey, I don't know if that's... So that's question 2. What is the name of the ground which is home to football club Newcastle United? Question number 3. Who was Formula 1 world champion in 1976 and then went on to co-commentate on Grand Prix with the BBC? Who was Formula 1 world champion in 1976 and went on to commentate on Grand Prix with the BBC? Right, I made a wee change there. What I just did was because I was doing that, I thought, oh no, it's frozen again now, but I just put the webcam off and then put it back on again. That seemed to work. Turn it on off again then, Gary. There we go. Right, so who was Formula 1 world champion in 1976 and then went on to co-commentate on Grand Prix with the BBC? Remember, we have a connection here, folks. Question number 4. Which English football club formerly played at Highfield Road? Which English football club formerly played at Highfield Road? that's question number 4. Which English football club formerly played at Highfield Road? Question number 5. Which nation has won Rugby Union's Grand Slam on 4 occasions since Six Nations inception in 2000? Which nation has won Rugby Union's Grand Slam on 4 occasions since Six Nations inception in 2000, in the year 2000? And that is more than any other nation since it went to the Six Nations. So that's a football back now, eh, folks? Started back Wednesday night now. Football over the weekend. I'm starting to get a wee bit of normality. What you thought of the game so far? I know that they're playing crowd noise into the background. It does help a bit, I think. Right, question number 6. Which female American middle distance runner was world champion in both the 1500 and 3000 metres in 1983, but controversially fell during the 3000 metres final at the 1984 Olympics? Which female American middle distance runner was world champion in both the 1500 and 3000 metres in 1983, but controversially fell during the 3000 metre final at the 1984 Olympics? I don't think that's one of the disciplines that's dropped now for world athletics, isn't it? The 3000 metres. I don't think they compete in that anymore. I think you get the 3000 metre steeplechase, but you don't get that race anymore. Okay, question number 7. Along with Fontwell Park, which is the only other figure-of-8 racecourse in England? Along with Fontwell Park, which is the only other figure-of-8 racecourse in England? Any wee suggestions for your connection here? Pretty tough one. Missus has been buying loads of plants. Jesus. I'm out there mucking about in the back garden. I'm expecting David Bellamy to jump out. There's not many flowers and all that. Plants. Try to give the place a bit of colour, she says, which I can understand. Okay, question number 8. The leader of the general classification at the Tour de France wears what? The leader of the general classification at the Tour de France, Tour de France, Tour de France, wears what? Did well at the racing this week, folks. Must admit. Done no bad. Especially on Thursday. Was really pretty chuffed. Good wee return. Good wee return. Right, question number 9. In both 1970 and 1986, Edinburgh was a host city for what? In both 1970 and 1986, Edinburgh was a host city for what? Remember, that is a sports round with a sports connection. Okay. And your final, did you see that question there? In both 1970 and 1986, Edinburgh was a host city for what? Sort of wee gremlins going on today. And question 10, what is the connection? If you can find it. Remember, if you do have the connection and you're missing some answers, it might help you get the answer to those questions. Okay, have a wee think about that one while I do a bit of music. And if you're ready to, you can send me your answers. Right, music-wise, let's go back for a wee classic. We always like a wee classic on a Sunday, a wee dance classic. So we're going to go with Grease. Not over yet, folks. Quiz is, it's not over yet, folks. It's not over yet. Not over yet. It's not over yet, folks. It definitely isn't over yet. We've still got a couple of more weeks of it. We certainly have. Right. Anyway. I'm keeping my mind there. Oh, it's gone now. It's gone. The dog's not happy about it either. Aye. Anyway. Next, it's another connection round. This time it's general knowledge questions and just work out what the connection is, alright? Okay, so here we go. Here's the first question. Which former featherweight world champion boxer was known as the Clone Cycle? Cycle. No, he wasn't known as the Clone Cycle. That was a different boxer. That was Mad Wee Mick. Doing that. Anyway. Which former featherweight world champion boxer was known as the Clone Cyclone? Aye, that's what it was. Just when I was getting my beer out the fridge there. Got my order, the coming in there for shopping order. And I'd ordered 6 bottles of Erdinger. That's the maximum allowed. Anyway, I was like, there's only 5. And Gillian says, did you order this bottle of Corona? I went, no, don't drink this stuff. She went, well, it's a big massive bottle. I was like, well, that's what they've done. I've only managed to get his 5 Erdinger and I've went, give him a Corona. Obviously trying to get rid of them because nobody's maybe drinking them. And I'm like, you couldn't get any fucking different for a Erdinger to a Corona. I could understand if I'd ordered Sol and they sent me a Corona. Or if you order Terence Lager and they send you a Carlin. Oh, sorry, is that no? Sorry. But, or, you know, if you order Budweiser and they send you a bag of shite, I can understand why, because the two of them are very similar. But Corona and come on, pal. Be used as a Father's Day gift. No, man, as I say, Corona's alright, but I don't get the big fascination with it, to be honest. Right, question 2. What was the name of the character played by Michael Douglas in the movie Wall Street and its sequel Money Never Sleeps? That was the subtitle. What was the name of the character played by Michael Douglas in the movie Wall Street and its sequel Money Never Sleeps? Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps. What's that all about? I think the person just got fuck it. Maybe they don't know the difference. Maybe it was just that was ones that were mixed in and they said, fuck it, you're getting that one. It's a bigger bottle, so you're getting more beer, but probably drink it later. Right, question number 3. Which fashion designer worked with Adidas to produce the apparel for Team GB at the 2012 Summer Olympic Games? Which fashion designer worked with Adidas to produce the apparel for Team GB at the 2012 Summer Olympic Games? I think they also worked with them. Yeah, they did for 2016 Games as well. Oh, this year's ones are in a wee cupboard. No, not a wee cupboard, a massive cupboard. It's not be used till next year now, won't they? No. At least sport's coming back in some way, you know. But it'll not be the same. Scottish football will probably be in the courts until December, so football will probably not start here until 2022. Question 4. Which US singer had hits in the 90s with Loser, Devil's Haircut and The New Pollution? Which US singer had hits in the 90s with Loser, Devil's Haircut and The New Pollution? It's like bizarre, isn't it? It's not bizarre, it's typical of Scottish football, to be honest. I might be a bit controversial in saying this, right? But I think there's far too many clubs. But you've got 42 clubs for a country this size. I don't see a future in that. I don't. Anyway, that's Gary's thoughts on that. Question 5. Who became leader of the Conservative Party at... Sorry. Who became leader of the Read that bit yourself, I can't do the rest of that. Who became leader of them in 1975? That's... I think I'm alright now. Stop looking at me there. Question number 6. What symbol of American independence is located in Philadelphia and was first commissioned in London in 1752? What symbol of American independence is located in Philadelphia and was first commissioned in London in 1752? apply some pressure. Okay. Question number 7. What is the name of the inlet of water which borders Ireland and Northern Ireland, in which the River Newry flows into? What is the name of the inlet of water which borders Ireland and Northern Ireland, in which the River Newry flows into? It's a wee inlet of water just off the Irish Sea. And if you go across it, you get from Northern Ireland to Ireland. You do. What is the name of the inlet of water which borders Ireland and Northern Ireland, in which the River Newry flows into? Okay. Question number 8. What is the title of the 1981 movie starring Keith Carradine, set in Louisiana, about the National Guard on a training exercise being hunted by a group of Cajun people? What is the title of the 1981 movie starring Keith Carradine, set in Louisiana, about the National Guard on a training exercise being hunted by a group of Cajun people? Remember seeing this film? Obviously years ago. It was quite good. Okay. Question number 9. Ed Asner was the main star of which US TV drama series set in a newspaper office in which he played the editor? Ed Asner was the main star of which US TV drama series set in a newspaper office in which he played the editor? Sorry, I'm going to wee mumble away there. Okay, so that was question 9. Ed Asner was the main star of which US TV drama series set in a newspaper office in which he played the editor? Okay, there's a correction there of that one as well, folks. Okay, see what you think about that one. And like I said in the previous round, if there's any questions that you're struggling with for an answer, but you've got the connection, then it might help you out. Might not. Might not. Anyway. Okay. Right, we'll have a wee break from that just now, folks. Let's go for this wee classic. Aye, why not? Great intro.
Everything lights fire, and the vision
Yeah, I could have been a drummer. Yeah, I could have. Did play the drums at school. Did. But reading drum sheet music was a pain in the arse. So me and my mate, when we used to go to drum lessons, we just go like that. They'd be dum tss, dum tss, dum tss, tss. And you just go, just like Animal, you know what I mean? Keith Moon. And she just lost the plot. Mrs. Irvine, if you're out there watching, which you probably aren't, Mrs. Irvine, I do apologise. You were very patient with us to begin with, but I can understand why you booted us out of your class after 6 or 7 weeks. Sorry. As you can see, I didn't make it as a drummer. Right. Round 5 is the music intros round. It's quite self-explanatory. It's just like every other week when we do it. You'll hear 10 songs. Just name me the song and the artist. This week, they're all covers. Yeah, all covers. But I'm not going to ask you. I'm just looking for who you hear doing this cover of this song. I'm not looking for who did the original, because some of them are quite obscure. And there's also but they originally wrote it, but they didn't release it, and I'm not going down that road. I'm just not going down that road. But you can have a bit of fun, because at the end I will tell you like some of the answers of mine anyway. Okay. But all I'm looking for is the artist you hear and the name of the song. Some of them are very, very easy. Very, very easy. Sorry, dog's having a wee nightmare. Chase with a cat again. Right. So here is number 1, folks. Number 1. All right. Help, Gary, if you've got it set up properly. I know. Right. Here. No. Apologies, folks. Here we go.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to get away from the pain you drive into the heart of me. The love we share seems to go.
Okay. Quite a self-explanatory one there, eh, folks? You know that one. Right, here's number 2. Number 2, again, name the artist and the song.
I would have given you all of my heart, but there's someone who's torn it apart.
Okay, I'll tell it for the other. Okay, that was number 2. Let's move on to number 3. Sorry, folks. That's number 3. This is number 3, sorry.
Twisted my melon, man. You know he talks so hip, man. You twisted my melon, man. Call the cops.
Okay, so that was number 3 there, folks. Number 3. Right, here is number 4. Love the intro to this. See, I was getting a bit carried away with myself there, I forgot. Know that you've... God, you would know that song, wouldn't you, folks? Wouldn't you? You would. Right, okay. Right, here is number 5.
Spring was never waiting for us, dear. It ran one step ahead as we followed in the dance. Because
Again, I was saying to myself, Gary, it's coming. Don't care. It's done now. Right, so that was 5. Move on to number 6. Here we go.
Make it. Sun is shining, the weather is sweet, yeah. Boy, makes you wanna move those dancing feet. By the rescue, here I am. I want you to know, y'all, here I stand.
Okay, right. Sorry, I'm just going to check something there. Just talk amongst yourselves. Okay, right. Number 7, folks. Number 7. Here's your next one. Here we go. Okay, so that was number 7. That was a last minute change, that one. And I'm thinking, when I'm thinking ahead, I went, I don't think I've put that, I've changed the answer, but we'll get to that. Right, number 8. Okay, folks, number 8. Here we go.
I thought I saw a man brought to life. He was warm, he came around like he was dignified. He showed me what it was to cry. Well, you couldn't be that man I adored.
Okay, so that's 8. Here is number 9. Yeah, see, I was a wee bit, mother, oh. So you're not hearing a lyric in that one, but come on, you must know that. Okay, so that was 9, and here is your final one, number 10.
Orleans. They call
I'm giving you that 18 seconds of that, 18 seconds of that, folks. Very obvious. As I say, you can rewind any of them back, listen to them again to your heart's content. Don't take too long though, you know what I mean? Okay, right, we'll have a wee break there. If you remember, I said the other day there, loving the fact, well, it's sadly we've not got any Glastonbury this year. We've not got much this year, but anyway, definitely no Glastonbury. But the BBC next weekend will be showing a lot of great performances from Glastonbury. I said that over my quizzes, the remainder of my quizzes, I'm going to play some Glastonbury highlights for me. And here's one from last year. Perfect timing. That was Jungle at Glastonbury last year with their track Heavy California. Heavy California on a levee. Anyway, okay, bonus points card game, folks. I didn't say it, but that was the end of the quiz, by the way. You can send me your answers and I'll get them marked up for you. That's how nice a gentleman I am. And yeah, so points card game. This is a penultimate one. Next week will be the last one, folks. If we are possibly going to do a live quiz on the 5th of January. 5th of January? God almighty. On the 5th of July. I'll see what you think about that. But we'll probably do that. But so I'm going to make this next week will be the last terms of points for the board. So the winner will be announced after next week's quiz at the end of that. So we'll have a winner and a runner-up, and they'll get a wee prize each. But this is a chance for teams to catch up with get some points anyway. Right, there is only seven E's this week. So it was a scorcher last Sunday, wasn't it? So people getting a wee bit more freedom about them, so absolutely getting out and enjoying it. Right, so 2 this week. Number 2 will be Jim, Tracy, Margaret and Andy. 3 will be Davy Graham. 4 will be Stephen and Marie. 5 will be Five or a Skull, probably late enough. 6, Sid and Wendy. 7 will be Joan. And 8 will be Sandy. Yeah, easy as that. Not got as much girls in the box this time. So yeah, remember here, what you're looking for is if you get 2 cards of the same suit drawn out, that means you get yourself 4 points because it's carrying over. And if you get 2 cards that are the same, i.e. 2 2s, 2 4s, 2 jacks, then you'll get 6 points. But I don't think we've had that yet, to be honest. Right, so let's see who it is. It's number 8. It's Sandy. Ah, Sandy. I'm delighted for you, mate. Delighted for you, but you've not won anything yet, mate. You've not won anything yet. That's for sure. So let's get the rest of the cards here as well and give them a wee box for you, Sandy man. How you keep, sir? Anyway, you all right? Good, good. Right. Okay, so the rules here, Sandy, is if, as I say, if you get 2 cards of the same suit, then you'll get yourself 4 points. 2 cards that are the same, you'll get yourself 6 points. So you have a 4 of spades, So if you get another spades, you get 4 points. If you get another, another 4, you will get yourself 6 points, and it is it's a king of demons, mate. A king of demons. Would you grant it? Okay, we'll get those answers coming up here in a moment, folks. Enough of that. So next week we will have, it needs to be one next week, so it'll be 6 points or 9 points. 6 points or 9 points. There we go. Right, so as I say, your answers will be coming soon, folks. I'll just get them ready. And in the meantime, let's have a bit of Maximo Park, folks. Maximo Park, and why no? Apply some pressure, baby.
What's my view? Well, how am I supposed to know?
out. If you apply some pressure, I like to wait to see how things turn out. If you apply some pressure.
Yeah, Maximo Party with applying some pressure. Right, let's go through your answers, folks, for you. First round was TV and movies. Question number one. Judah Keppel was the first £1 million winner on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but which Channel 4 show was the first to award a winner of £1 million? It was TFI Friday. TFI Friday, yes. Chris Evans' show. Question, I've not put that, I've left the wee dots in there. Oh God, anyway, you know where I'm coming from. See, that's what I'm talking about earlier on. Question two, which 1974 horror movie had the tagline, "Who will survive and what will be left of them?" That was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Question three, Ashes to Ashes was the sequel to Life on Mars. Steve McQueen, question four, plays the character Eric the Kid Stoner in The Cincinnati Kid. Question five, which former newsreader once presented the BBC daytime quiz Master Team, which was broadcast in the 80s? That was Angela Rippon. Question six, in the movie Avatar, the indigenous Na'vi tribe that live on Pandora have what colour of skin? That's blue. Question number seven, which UK soap opera is filmed in the Harewood estate? That's Emmerdale. Question eight, which monster first appeared in Japanese cinema in 1954? That was, of course, Godzilla. Godzilla's coming. Godzilla. Used to scare the dogs. You know, when I watched my in-laws' dogs. Oh, Godzilla's coming. Sorry if you're watching this Isabel and Charlie, but it was funny at the time. Godzilla. Question 9. Wow, you're half here, no. Question 9. Which character was played by Buster Merrifield in Only Fools and Horses? It was Uncle Albert, of course. Uncle Albert. Sadly no longer with us. His actual real name's Harry, and they only discovered that after he died. Well, those obviously close to him knew that, but the wider public, general public, didn't know that was his first name. Question 10. In which city is the TV series Peaky Blinders predominantly set? That is Birmingham. Right, picture round. I'll actually rush through these. Right, number 1 is Ken Bruce. 2, John Peel. 3 is Lauren Laverne. 4 is Bruno Brooks. 5, Janice Long. 6, Mark Radcliffe. 7, Joe Wiley. 8, Craig Charles. 9, Lisa Tarbuck. And 10, it's Alan Freeman, Fluff. The Fluff Man. And there is clarification of that. Okay. Right. Sports Connection round. Question 1, which I've done it again. Which former British athlete originally refused to compete on a Sunday due to his religious beliefs? That was Jonathan Edwards. What is the name of the ground in which is home to the football club Newcastle United? It's St James's Park. Who was Formula 1 world champion in 76, went on to be a co-commentator with the BBC, is James Hunt. Which football club formerly played at Highfield Road? That's Coventry City. Which nation has won Rugby Union's Grand Slam on 4 occasions since the Six Nations inception in 2000? That's Wales. Which female American middle distance runner was world champion in both the 1500 and 3000 metres in 83, but controversially fell? Remember Zola Budd? She blamed her, but then actually after a couple of years she admitted that it wasn't her fault. But that was Mary Decker. She decked it. Along with Fontwell Park, which is the only other figure of 8 racecourse in England, that's Windsor. The leader of the general classification of the Tour de France wears what? That's the yellow jersey. And in both 70 and 86, Edinburgh was a host for what? That was the Commonwealth Games. What was the connection? Well, it is going on this week, or did finish yesterday. It is names of races at Royal Ascot. King Edward VII Stakes, St James's Palace Stakes, the Royal Hunt Cup, Coventry Stakes, the Prince of Wales Stakes, Queen Mary Stakes, Windsor Castle Stakes, the Jersey Stakes, and the Commonwealth Cup. Yes. Gary coming out with a bloody racing one. And here I've done it with this one as well. I've not forgot to put the bloody thing in numbers in anyway. Which former featherweight world champion boxer was known as the Clone Cyclone? That was Barry McGuigan. Question 2. What was the name of the character played by Michael Douglas in the movie Wall Street? That was Gordon Gekko. Question 3. Which fashion designer worked with Adidas to produce the apparel for Team GB at 2012 Olympics? That was Stella McCartney. Question 4. Which US singer had hits in the 90s with Loser, Devil's Haircut and The New Pollution? That was Beck. Who became leader of the in 75? That was Margaret Thatcher. Question 6. Which symbol of American independence is located in Philadelphia and was first commissioned in London in 1752? That's the Liberty Bell. Question number 7. What is the name of the inlet of water which borders Ireland and Northern Ireland and which the River Newry flows into? That is Carlingford Lough. Question number 8. What is the title of the 1981 movie starring Keith Carradine, set in Louisiana about a National Guard on training exercise that are hunted down by Cajun folk? That is Southern Comfort. Question 9. Ed Asner was the main star of which US TV drama set in a newspaper office which played the editor? That's Lou Grant. And the connection, it was alcohol brands. McGuigan's, the wine, the Australian wine. Gordon's gin, Stella Artois, Beck's, Thatcher's cider, Bell's whiskey, Carling, Southern Comfort and Grant's whiskey. Yeah. Right, let's quickly run through your intros. Okay. In fact, I'm not going to play them, folks, because I've not got the time to go through all that. We'll just hear, because a lot of them are very obvious. Right, number 1 was Soft Cell with Tainted Love, which was originally released by Gloria Jones in 1965. Question number 2 was Rod Stewart. The First Cut is the Deepest. Cat Stevens did I think he wrote it as well in 1967. Number 3, Happy Monday, Step On. John Congus in 1971 did that song. Yeah, not a lot of folk know that's a cover, but it is. 4, and a lot of folk maybe don't realise this one is as well, The Clash with I Fought the Law. There's a few, but the Crickets were the first to release it in 1960. Number 5, Donna Summer, MacArthur Park. Richard Harris released that in 1968. Number 6, Finlay Quaye, Sunday Shining. Sun is Shining. Finlay Quaye just changed the title of the song. It's a completely different reworking of the song, but Sun is Shining by Bob Marley. 7 is not Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young. I did have that in originally, folks, but it is actually the Talking Heads with the song Take Me to the River. Which Al Green originally released. Okay, sorry about that, but as I say, that was blocked. I couldn't play that one. The Joni Mitchell, that was a Joni Mitchell cover by Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, sorry. Right, number 8, you heard Natalie Imbruglia with Tone, which was Edna Swap in 1995. 9, you had Blondie, The Tide is High, which was originally released by the Paragons in 1967. And The Animals, House of the Rising Sun, which is an old folk bluesy hit. And was covered by loads of different folk. Bob Dylan did a cover of it. Loads of different folk did covers and versions of it before the Animals actually released it as the version of House of, I think, Guthrie and everybody done original workings of that. But yeah, the Animals, House of the Rising Sun was the answer. Okay, so I'll give you a point for the band and or artist and the name of the song. No extra bonuses if you write down and tell me, oh, Gary, it was Richard Harris. I originally had MacArthur Park. Well done to you for getting it, but you're not getting a point. I explained that before we began. Right, so that is us. Okay, folks. Right, I'll be back Wednesday night with your penultimate Wednesday night quiz, which will be an audio pub quiz. So listen in. Mhm. So there'll be lots of different things happening there. I've no idea what I'm going to do, to be honest. I'll not working that. And then I'll be back next Sunday with another one of your bumper quizzes. So I hope you can join me then. So as I say, if you think it will be a good idea for a live quiz on the 5th of July, let me know, and we can do that again. No a quizathon, obviously, but we'll do a few hours of it and maybe do a bit of Pop Master and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Mastermind as well. If you fancy it for a laugh, then let me know and we can end off on a high, and that will be us. Okay, thanks once again, folks. It was an absolute pleasure to have you with me on this lovely Sunday afternoon.
Now I'd like to say goodbye to all my fellow friends. And if you like this shit on here, I'll see your ass again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You don't all need to cheer. Yep. Okay, folks. I will see you on Wednesday night. If not, I'll see you next Sunday. Stay safe, folks. Keep well. Catch you later.